AA, see you in church. Hi, I'm Manuel. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Leave a little message, put the hand up and say hi. I do it at the beginning because I have the tendency not to return later. And let me know something you'd like me to talk about. I saw way back last year a video about people going and getting their shots and having your child get shots. And it was boring and no one was listening. That's the funny thing. So I think I talked about it. Why? Because a bunch of harpies were going after a woman called Kat Von D. And they wanted to make their point because they're the only important thing in this world. It's them. Just like that me crap that came out. See, at the beginning, the me made sense. And then all the whores in America came out of the woodwork. I'm a whore. But instead they lied. And they said, I was raped. No, you weren't. You're a whore. You got something for something. It's like you go over and you find a trading post, which we used to have. And you say, I want that fur coat. And the person says, well, it'll cost you 30 pieces of gold. And then he says, or you could have sex with me. And you have to weigh the difference. Do I have one day of lousy sex with him or to get that coat? Or do I pay those pieces of gold? So you have sex with him. And you made that choice. Well, that's between you and them. And that same mentality, later on, you're like, oh, I want to be part of the group. Let me go and put some lies. Lies, and say I was raped. But you know you weren't raped. You're a whore. You're lying. Why are you lying? Well, because you're a liar. You did all of this to move up. You didn't do the hard work. You didn't earn the position. You slept your way up. And to cover it, now you're saying, I was raped. No, you weren't raped. You were given an offer and you took it. Now, that guy who's going over there, you took it. I hope he gets off. See, there was one person who was actually drugging people, and while they were asleep, he was molesting them. That's the difference. That's molestation. You were given an offer and you took it. Now, this offer is drugs. And when you're grown up, you have the right to choose. But when you're a child, your parent has to choose. And your parent has to live with what happens. And doctors don't. Yeah, they don't. And 75% of you doctors, you claim you care. But you don't. You really don't. All you and you talk and you talk and you talk. Like Dr. Mike on here. He talks through his asshole. He's not listening to anything. And you know what? he's the only doctor that I've ever thought that I hope his child gets that disease. Yeah, poor child, but when he's or she's there taking that shot and goes into that other world and is like this, and he now has to take care of that child for the rest of its life. Now I take that back. I don't wish that on the child just because he's an asshole. See, when it's your child, are you going to play Russian roulette because this shot right there may... See, if all those children there get the shot in your school and there is nobody in that school who has not have it, it doesn't matter if your child doesn't get shot. That's right, because your child already has the shot. So mind your business, bitch. That's right. Bitch. Mind your bleeping business and shut the bleep up. Because your child is able to have the shots and is not sitting in a chair like this, lost to that other world. And that's the problem. You're okay because your child's okay. But what if your child wasn't? And if you only pushed, yes, pushed the drug companies to fix the problem. Just because you got one pill, why can't we have 10 that will fix the problem? And one of them doesn't have the chance of your child being in another world mentally. See, he doesn't understand that because he's a piece of garbage. That's right, Dr. Mike. You're a piece of garbage. You only care about your 4 years of medical. You are murderers so far as I'm concerned. Yes, you are a whole bag of murderers, except for 2 people I saw who really cared. But the moment my mother went into the hospital, they murdered her. That's right. Why? Because I'm not a doctor. And I didn't know to tell them to go to hell, and they either give her medicine or I'm going to drag their stupid doctor ass to the top of that hospital and throw them off the top to their death, so that when my mother dies, she will go to heaven and they will go to hell where they deserve to go, because they're all going to hell. Every single one of them who was in that room with my mom. They tortured her for 3 days, not giving her any of her medicines. And I've heard before all the time, and I didn't think about it until the 3rd day, that when you take a person's medicines away, in times, parts of their internal organs stop working. Then when I dawned on me, because I had seen all those medical things, and I stood up to them, then they said, oh, we'll only give her half a dosage. They know she was taking a lot more medicine to take her pain away. Then later on, oh, she's got a tumor in her back. Oh, I wanted to take every single one of them and just go break their necks and throw them to the death down a stairwell. You doctors are the most useless piles of shit there are. Yes, and your answer to everything is drugs, 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 drugs. That's right. Not try to cure the problem. Oh, you got pain? Here's a drug. Let's give these children a bunch of drugs. Yes, some of those drugs could send your child into another world where you're going to have to wipe their butt the rest of their life. You're going to have to feed them the rest of your life. You're going to have them like a baby the rest of their life. But you don't care because it's acceptable to you. The parents that are going to get stuck with those children, they remember the happy faces, the happy child. But you don't care, Dr. Mike, do you? You claim you do. You stand there opening your mouth and, they're going against what I believe. I believe. Who cares? We know you don't. That's right, Dr. Mike, you don't. And there you got it. This useless pretend doctor that I took off my list of subscriptions. Because I don't want to pay attention to a person who could not care less whether your child goes into it. Because it's an acceptable statistic to him. He don't see your child as a child. He don't see you as a person either. He sees you as just one other number that he can put in a file. He doesn't see people, he sees diseases. And if I can throw this pill at it, maybe it'll work. No, not it will work. No, maybe. Isn't that funny? How your child is considered just a statistic and it's acceptable to people like him. And if you don't find it acceptable like Kat Von D didn't, every retarded parent who actually vaccinated their children come out of the woodwork trying to say that I'm the better parent. No, you're not. You played Russian roulette with your child. Russian roulette with your child's life. That doesn't make you a good parent. It makes you a piece of garbage that just follows like a blind dog. Ruff, 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 ruff. Because they told you that it will work. They didn't have no proof. They tell everybody that. But the reality is there is a large statistic saying your child could go down that road. If you go down that road, you get a beautiful life with this pill. If you go down this road, you might get a bullet in your head. And you go, well, I don't want to go down that road. And you get everybody forcing you to go down that road because everybody else did. Well, what I have to say to that is go to hell. You give it to your child, you lose your child, that's your fault. 100% because you are stupid enough to listen to Dr. Mike and all those other Dr. Mikes over there. But what do you think? Why don't you let me know by subscribing to my channel, leaving a message, letting me know what you think, and telling me some subject to talk about. And put the hand up. I do it at the beginning because I have the tendency not to return. And unless it was a good conversation, I won't. But remember, AA, see you in church.